Hey, hi everybody. Hello, hello. Let's see who's gonna pop on live today. How is everybody tonight? You guys are doing good? Hello, hi, hey everybody, hey Michelle. Hi guys, hi. So it is Witchy Wednesday. I am so excited. And I'm Frank into this live, and we're going to talk about like kitchen witch trash magic on a budget. So there it is. Hi.
Hi guys, how are you?
What's up, everybody? How are you, Frank?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
Hanging in there.
Can you hear me okay?
Yep, hear you great.
Beautiful.
How's everybody doing tonight? Welcome to our little live in this corner of the world. So Frank and I are going to talk a little bit about how to sort of be witchy, right? So Witchcraft Wednesday, Witchy Wednesday.
Right.
On a budget, right? So a lot of us like have to work with what we have. We can't get to the store. A lot of the makers are shipping really, really slowly. And except for us, we need stuff from us, we're shipping fast. But a lot of like the regular makers are shipping really slowly, like the herb places and Amazon. Forget about trying to do like shopping from Instacart at the supermarket. Forget that, because that's taken like, forget it, good luck. So how to work with what you have on hand to do a little bit of magic, right? And hi Christine. And so I actually took out a couple of things that I thought we could play with today. I have like 5 old ass tea lights from
They're the best.
forever.
I have one too.
And
Look
I
at these.
have some white angelica. Yep, see, you have some. I have some white angelica. I have like my favorite loose glitter. That's my favorite color in the world.
I love it.
It's my favorite color. And I think I have some, oh, you know what I have? I have, this is very Frank, like a Frank thing. I have a bag of all the ends of all the sage bundles. Right? I didn't throw it out.
You can't throw it out.
Didn't throw it out. This is literally like,
Look at all my little, I call them little schmata bags.
Yeah, so it's the end. So what I mean by that, you guys, is that, and Frank is notorious with the shop. If we have like a container of, say, all the cedar smudge bundles, now we have a container of all the rosemary bundles and white sage, blue sage, et cetera, et cetera. On the bottom of that container is like all loose herbs.
The remnant.
And most normal human beings would just like toss it in the garbage. But Frank and now myself, we save it.
Right. Because we're birds. We use it in our nest. That's what we do.
So
we harvest.
We harvest, we take it, we use it. So this to me looks like it has cedar, it has rosemary, it has
all the things.
Rose. Mm-hmm. There's some rose pieces. There looks like there's some everlasting flower in here. Mm-hmm. There looks like some marigold pieces and all sorts of, I don't know what it smells like, but I just
deliciousness.
Yes, I have this. Oh, it smells nice. It smells really good. So yeah, but we wanted to, so I guess before we get started, I should introduce you guys, because maybe there's some people on here that don't know who the hell I am or who the hell Frank is. So maybe we should just start basics. So, start launching the conversation.
Just go. We're just going with it. We're flowing.
So my name is Gina. I'm co-owner. I'm co-owner.
It's interesting. Very interesting.
Of Amityville Apothecary here in Amityville, New York. Yes, that Amityville, calm down. And Frank is one of our practitioners. He is an extremely gifted psychic, medium intuitive, card reader, rune reader, candle crafting, herb mixing, straight up magical fucking unicorn of a man.
Thank you. And you're an amazing blue jay.
He's really an owl. Frank is an owl. I am a blue jay.
So good.
So So we figured we'd talk a little bit about like, because we were talking for a couple hours over the past week, and we're talking about like, how do we keep doing what we're doing in the environment that we're in? So like, how do we sort of, right, keep our practice? So what have you been up to? Because I know you've been shoestringing it.
Well, you got to understand, in the situation, you got to always take care of your health at first. So for me, I've made a lot of oils at home from old honey containers, little tiny vials. I've made my own perfume blends just for experimenting, just to stay sharp. A lot of my own herbs, I've been doing that too. I've been grinding them, mixing them, labeling them. You make it work. You know, for me, I wasn't raised with a lot of money growing up, so my magic came from the kitchen. It came from the dollar store. It came from what was kicking around the home. And I think there's a little extra oomph and a little extra power when you can kind of work with the odds and ends and make something. So tonight, you know, even to the point of like, this is my sage bundle. I've had it for a couple of months now. You have these large sage bundles at the store. I think I might have bought this from the store.
Yeah, they last forever.
They last forever. A trick also too, if you want to take a sage bundle like this, I'm just showing it like this so people can see. You could take a huge sage bundle like this. And this is my red cord that I make all my friends their evil eye bracelets with.
Excuse me. Oh my God. I don't have a red bracelet.
I'll make you one. So I've taken sage like this on a budget. I've taken it apart by clipping the white cord, and I've gotten about 3 nice medium-sized bundles from it out of one. And then what I usually do is I anoint it with an oil or something that I feel works to the properties. And I let it dry out in my window, and then I pray on it, and, you know, I do my thing. Why do we work on a budget? We have things to do. You know, you have your household, you have your children. You know, I want to make sure I pay my rent, so I have a place to actually do my little brouhaha stuff.
Don't want to do it under a bridge.
Right. I can't do it up in a tree. I can't do it underneath a bridge. I can't do it in a gypsy caravan. So I have to kind of pay rent, right?
Yeah, unfortunately, but that's the way it goes.
No Birkins yet. So we have to keep in budget. And the true power in our magic and what we create is not in the glitz and glam of the most, you know, extravagant candle or the most shiny gemmy crystal. I mean, you guys have beautiful stuff, but I bought in beautiful little tumbled stones from you guys. And I love them all day. And I'll put them in my jars with what I'm formulating. And I love it.
Energy is energy, whether it comes from a small piece or a big piece.
And that's the thing. I think what's nice is with your store, and why I enjoy working with you guys, you don't hard sell. You need the biggest and the baddest and the you know. No. Half the time we say, well, try a tumbled stone.
Right. Try a pocket, try a tumble.
Try a chime candle. Why don't we give you a little sample of one of these oils? See if you like it.
Oh yeah, we sample the oils. I have all the oil samples here. So our oils are sold, just so you guys can see, in a standard 15 ml roller bottle. So this is the full moon oil, which I only have 3 of these guys. If you guys want a full moon oil tomorrow and you're local, you better hit me up.
That was the one you made, right?
This is the one I made with the, what is this? What this is? Vanilla, what is this? Bella, what is this? Vanilla, Palo Santo, and something. She'll try.
Didn't you also? I think you had like a floral note in it too, right? Or sandal? Was it sandalwood?
Maybe it was. Sandalwood. You're right.
I think it was sandalwood.
Yes, it's sandalwood. Yes. So
it's beautiful.
So in this
it really is.
Actually, with red sandalwood, and the second time I made it, I got really witchy. And I cut a piece of Palo Santo, like a stick, into pieces, and put a little piece of Palo Santo in there.
Very practical, because when it's in the oil, it's going to start infusing off of the Palo.
Right. So we sell those for $15, but what we always do, and what Frank does, and now what I'm getting in the practice of, is we make big dropper bottles. So these are big 2-ounce master bottles.
Bottles.
So when you come into the shop, if you're not sure, we'll give you a sample. You know,
Mhm.
like I was shipping out samples to you guys in the mail, but what's happening is they were breaking and the oil was leaking everywhere, so I had to stop. It was sort of a bummer.
Mm.
But yeah, we have so Frank, like this is his Oya, this is Yamiya. So these are all samples. So we will
Mhm.
totally sample you guys. This is my favorite St. Michael. You have no idea. That's restocked. This is amazing.
That's the
Um,
master bottle of it.
this is the master bottle.
Yeah.
And what's gorgeous about
I
this
love how
oil,
concentrated it's getting.
it's so concentrated. There's black tourmaline in here and bay leaf and angelica root. It's
Yeah.
just so gorgeous. What's so great about this is that it's so multi-purpose. Like you could wear it as a scent. Actually, I'm going to do it now. My favorite thing to do with these oils now is, so like this oil in the base, the oil base is olive oil.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like
It's great
nothing
for the
that's
skin.
right. And literally like the big tin of olive oil that you get at the supermarket when you want to get, like when you're Italian like us and you
Mhm.
just get the big olive oil because you use it in every single thing you cook, you get the big tin. So literally that's what's in here. So it's so good for you. It is good for your skin.
Yeah.
But I like to take a little, like just a few drops.
Yeah. Like
and
a
I like to
dime.
rub my hands and I like to put it in my hair.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and it smells delicious. It's moisturizing. It's not greasy. My hair is like a little bit busted right now because I let it dry naturally. I didn't put anything in it. It's not like not terrible.
It's got a nice wave to it.
It's meh. But like, you know, like I've said this before, if you dye your hair a lot, it gets porous. And as you get older, it gets porous. And so it picks up scent, your hair, when you go to different places. And so this is nice to give it like a zhuzh. But that's,
Mhm.
so, and then like St. Michael's literally protecting me at like from the top of my
Yeah,
head.
protecting your crown chakra.
Mm-hmm. So yeah,
Beautiful.
so but like there's really no not that I'm going to tell you guys what the blend is, but I told you some of the things, but this is stuff that you can access. Like
That's right.
it's not, so that's what we're talking about with working with the tools that you have. A lot of the stuff that we work with, I was actually, you know what I was looking to do? I was looking to see what kind of tea bags I had because I thought I could dress a candle by opening a tea bag.
Stop it.
Were you thinking about the same thing?
I was doing that today.
Holy shit!
Right. Wait, you ready? What do we do? What do we do at the start? Right. Hold on. I was going to demonstrate that tonight with a tea ball.
Oh my God, Frank, I can't. I was literally like pulling my tea boxes out. I'm like, I need to find tea bags.
A lot of times when I'm making an oil and I don't want the oil to get too, like this one I'm using on me, so I don't care. It's got all the ingredients in it.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes herbs can turn in oils if you don't work with sanitized hands or bottles. So
Yeah.
what's great with a tea ball, you can literally put all your herbs and all of your workings into the tea ball. It's obviously going to work quicker with hot water. It takes a little bit more time with oil. I've been noticing I do it for about a month, straight up a month, 30 days, and it will concentrate and steep. And you can literally just put it right in the bottle, you know, if it obviously fits. And if it doesn't, you could just put it in a bowl and cover it with plastic wrap to keep dirt and particles from the air in it. And just let it steep literally in a bowl. Like here you go, right? A mason jar. Say this fits. It doesn't, but just say it fit.
Right. Just let's pretend.
Right. Let's pretend. Let's be magical and pretend. And it would just concentrate in it. And I would keep it closed with some plastic wrap. And how you doing?
That's awesome.
You've got an oil worked from herbs.
Yeah. You can also, you can also, there are machines that you could buy where you do this, right? Where it's like an infuser, we sell them. They're sort of spendy, but if you do a lot of this work and you want it quick, it's like $200, $300 depending, and you have it fast. But you could even like just wait. I think time is magic also. So what is a way to use chamomile?
Okay, so for me...
Wait. Hold on, don't answer yet. What do we use chamomile for when we drink it? Right? What do we don't use chamomile like caffeine.
No.
We use
you want
chamomile.
me to go in?
Go ahead. Because I want people to start to think about the correspondences and then like
Chamomile to me is more of a feminine herb associated with sleep, rest, and calming the spirit.
yeah.
So when people are a little bit of a hot spirit, they're a little fiery. Sometimes I'll do a healing candle for somebody with chamomile, and like this little blend of odds and ends that I have.
Look at that. It's
It's
beautiful.
actually chamomile, lavender, rose, and jasmine. So this blend, and literally it's a nice size amount that I've made, was just from little odds and ends from my mortal and the pistol, and I just scrape it up and put it in the bag. It works to calm. So if you were to use chamomile in a tea, it's great. It's also very good in calming the skin. It works well with black tea and minimizing the pores. And chamomile also calms down any inflammation in the face.
Oh.
Chamomile tea is also really good if women are a little hormonal too. It's known as a natural sedative, so that can help you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was looking in the Encyclopedia of Magical Herbs just to see if there's anything.
I love that book.
And there's German chamomile and Roman chamomile. I want to say in the teas, it's Roman chamomile. Is that right?
Yeah, usually. Yeah, it's more common.
And so they're saying sleep, but they're also saying love. Good for meditation.
Yep.
And you could also use it as like a protection.
If it's worked with another protective herb.
Yes. So
think of chamomile like a blanket that wraps you.
Right, exactly.
See, like protection, like in the Michael bottle, is like the bay leaf, is a little bit of chili pepper.
Yes.
That's a little bit more of an aggressive herb. So that blend, that Michael has a little bit more oomph, a little bit more punch in it. Chamomile is good protection when worked with other things to give it like a boosting.
Yes, I like it. But yeah, like how many of us have chamomile tea in our home? Right? My daughter is obsessed with chamomile tea. She would literally drink it every single night. So like you could literally, if you want to work with chamomile and make yourself a cup of tea, you could also take some of the herb out of the tea bag and sprinkle it on your tea light. So
That's
say
right.
I want to dress a tea light, if I could get it out, I could use, so I have here the odds and ends. And I'm just going to smush it a little bit because there's a lot of big pieces. I don't have a mortar and pestle in my house. What a fake ass witch I am. I don't even have that. So
you could do it between two pieces of paper.
I would just leave it like in here and crack it with my my rolling pin. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
That's all.
I actually was doing some old ass shit you would appreciate because you're Italian. So I don't know if you guys are old enough to remember, but back in the dinosaur ages, you couldn't really buy like thin chicken cutlets. Chicken cutlet was like the chicken cutlet.
You got to hammer it.
You had to hammer it. And so the thing is, you guys, I'm going to give you like a little bit of a witchy money saving tip. Just buy thicker freaking chicken breasts and cut them down and then use that hammer thing, that meat tenderizer.
That's all.
I was beating chicken breasts the other day, and my son came over. You guys all know Joel, and he was like, what, like with the face, you know, the face he makes.
Yeah.
But he's hammering. Why are you hammering the meat? But I could use that tool too.
That's right. That's all.
So
you put a paper towel over the bag or a dish towel so it doesn't break the plastic that the container's in, and it gives it enough protection but enough effort to pound the herb.
So the smells actually really good. So this, ow, I'm going to give myself a little attack with those little cedar and pine needles. I'm going to do like a protection, I think.
All right. I'm going to do mine over here too.
I'm going to use his St. Michael protection oil.
Okay.
What are you going to make?
I'm going to make a little bit of a calming healing tea light.
All right.
I figure I could light it after the live for all of us involved. Because you know
Yeah.
that tomorrow is the full flower moon in Scorpio.
Full moon in Scorpio. A lot of
It's delicious. It's gonna be
going
something.
within and
Mm,
lessons and like,
mm.
you know, I read, so Colin Bedell, who is going to be on the live, I think May 16th at noon, talks a lot in his Instagram account, Queer Cosmo, about how the full moon affects the different signs. And he talks about how Scorpio has the depth of emotion to sit with you in the celebration, but also in the heartache. And
That's
so
right.
it's this deep and varied realm of emotion, and really to bear witness right now. Yes, you can absolutely. Penny Lover, bay leaves are great for protection. There are bay leaves in here in the St. Michael blend. And also,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of times we like to use bay leaf to write our intention on and then burn the bay leaf
Mm-hmm.
and send that intention up to the ether or to God source, whatever, you know,
Mm-hmm.
your term. All right. I don't really know. Well, you know what? This is the St. Michael oil, and St. Michael does resonate with the color blue. So I'm going to say that maybe this isn't exactly Michael's color, but I'm going with it. He'll be okay with it.
Yeah.
What I have.
You always, whenever you work with a deity, you always just show them your love and your respect, and you do it from your heart.
Yeah. So, I mean,
So,
I think that he would have some of this color. Now, the trick with working with glitter is to just resign yourself to the fact that you're going to have it all over the fucking place. Like, sorry, okay? You know what they say
how
about
many
glitter?
times have we trashed the sink in the bathroom?
Oh my God, that sink. Glitter.
That poor
It's the
sink.
herpes of craft supplies, okay, you guys? That's it.
That poor sink.
So, oh my God. So I'm going to do some glitter, and then I'm going to put the herbs on top of the glitter. And now I've been blessed. Okay. It's fine.
That's
A
all.
little glitter. It's
God
fine.
bless. God bless the mess.
It's not the worst thing that's been on this floor. And now, that's for sure. I'm going to take some cedar. I like to use tree, like pine trees and evergreen, because when you think about what those trees look like, right? They're big, they're tall and very deeply rooted. They stay green all year long. They stand firm in all weather. And so you don't even really need to know all the magical properties or associations to know that your cedars and your evergreen trees are going to have protective connotations. Okay. And so I'm going to just take a couple of pieces, and I'm going to show you guys in a minute. I'm going to do this without trying to jack it right up in my finger. Now you want to be a little bit careful because loose herbs will catch on fire.
Right.
So when you're lighting these little tea lights, like you're going to see with mine, I have like a good amount of herb on mine on the top.
Yeah, you keep an eye on it.
You just have to watch. You can't like set it and forget it like that Ronco rotisserie machine.
So I'll show you a safety trick. You could take the mason jar lid, and sometimes what I do is, like with mine, it's not really herby too much.
Right.
Just a little, but still, things happen. And God forbid if it was to go up without scorching my fingers, I could take it from the lid and goodbye good luck, into the sink you go. So Valerie,
we're talking about like just magic on a budget. So we're literally talking about like just different stuff that you would have in your house. And we're using these tea lights, like just that we both happen to have in our home. And like I made a protection one using Frank's blend of St. Michael oil. And I have some loose odds and ends from like the ends of sage bundles from the shop, like at the bottom of the containers that we keep them in. I just dumped it in. I'm actually giving this to Michelle. Michelle is part of a Mother's Day present. And
it's a beautiful
gift. I used a couple out of there. And then a little bit of glitter. I like glitter, so I have small kids, and we always, Valerie, you have to have glitter in your house. You have girls, and a little glitter, and that's it. And then we're gonna like show you guys how to use to set intention. Frank, you chose what kind of candle did you make again?
Made a little bit of a calming, healing candle for everybody right now with the base herbs of chamomile, lavender, rose, and jasmine.
Mm.
And then I worked it with my perfume that I made, which is the hibiscus, angelica, and lavender one.
Oh, I bet that smells disgusting.
Yeah, it's horrible. I just bathe in it.
Oh my God, it smells amazing. I'm sure that smells amazing.
Putrid. No, it's actually really, really yummy.
That's amazing.
So you want to laugh? You want to talk more on a budget?
Yes.
You laugh. So if nobody has glitter, if there are women on this live, you have makeup, right? Mm. Well, in my dollar store hunts, when I want to work a candle, I will find the cheapy makeup with all the crazy eye color palettes that you'll never put on your skin because you know that it's probably filled with really bad chemicals. God bless. So you don't put it on your face. You can actually use those colors in your workings.
It's amazing. What a great idea.
Makeup.
Listen, there's mica in most eyeshadows, right?
That's all. Use a little bit of a butter knife and you just right out of the thing.
That's such a great idea. Bella says, oh my God, yes, love that idea. That is such a great idea.
Right.
Yes, that actually is a great idea. And listen, I don't care what any of you guys say. If you're getting some cheap ass shit from the dollar store, fine. Or if you have some like Anastasia eyeshadow palette, there's always some dog ass color in those palettes you're not putting on your face.
That's right.
Yourself. For me, it's always black. I can't figure out how to use it. Somebody, you guys could tell me, but like, I have yet to not like use black eyeshadow and not look like I got like beat the fuck up. So Michelle says that she's been foraging from her yard, which is like,
that's right.
Yeah, use what you have. Michelle actually had to pick something up the other day and said that I had mugwort growing up out of my leaf. And I was like, I've been pulling those for like 3 years. So apparently I'm an idiot. Do you need to sage it first? What, the makeup? I mean,
or before you, or maybe she's asking before you ritual.
I mean, you can. We always come back to this, is that intention trumps everything. So if you set sacred space up for yourself and you say a little prayer to yourself and whoever you sort of have a relationship with, deities, God, source, creator, ancestors, whomever, and you call them in to, I like to say something like, I sage a lot of times, but not when I'm making in my house typically. I mostly sage when I'm working in healing practice with other people.
I agree.
With myself, I don't typically do like a big sage thing, but I do call in my guides, my angels, my ancestors to make sure that my work is of the greatest of good and highest of love for those
and
that
intention.
come in contact with it.
Right.
So that's typically like the parameters of what I set in terms of like the intention that goes into my work. Okay.
Right. You could sage or you could spray.
Yeah, and we have the White Witch Sage Spray, which is just clary sage in a blend of witch hazel and water with black tourmaline and clear quartz.
Yeah, it's lovely.
Just super easy. You can like literally make it yourself, but if you don't want to make it yourself, you can buy it from us or make it yourself, like whatever. No offense, no harm, no foul, right? So yeah, you guys, like, even if you don't have a tea light, you have like those little tiny pillar things. Put it in a pillar holder, dress the top. You don't always have to carve it. It doesn't always have to be the most fancy thing in the world. You could do a little bit of quick magic.
Practical magic.
Practical magic with what you have on hand.
That's right.
I have been working a lot of magic lately using flowers because it's spring and there's a lot in bloom. And so I've been harvesting, just like Michelle said, what I see blooming and making flower essences with them, with the idea that I will be, when we are allowed to open the shop, we will be dosing vibrational flower essences with you guys, using the flower essences as an extra layer in our magic, in our oils. because just like every crystal has a vibration, every flower has a vibration. So I've been sort of delving into that rabbit hole. And believe me, they're all rabbit holes. You start one thing and you're like, right down.
That's right.
Right down. Like, forget it. You know, so really working with what you have, take this opportunity and this time to try and open your eyes and look at your environment and what you have with the new eyes. Right?
That's right.
Like a tea bag doesn't just have to be something you drink. You could open it up and use those herbs.
That's right.
What are you guys been working with? Like what if like Frank, like what else have you been working with? Like tea, loose herbs, stuff. What else from the dollar store is like your favorite?
Sometimes I will get the sandwich bags. So the dollar store sandwich bags, if you cut them open, it's a brown porous paper. And I've been writing intentions. They actually burn really well. So I've gone out into the woods and burnt them safely. Sigil work with them, then wrapping them around a dollar store candle, and then working the candle with the brown paper wrapped around it. Also too, working with a lot of prayer work too. With the things that I have before me, I make sure that if I have just a little bit of it, that I'm in a concentrated state where I use it just for what it needs to be used. Like all my herbs in my little witchy drawer, I worked through them. I was checking them to make sure none of them were moldy.
Mm-hmm.
I was seeing which little odds and ends of like 3 bags of lavender I had, and I put them all together. So taking account of what I need to get when I'm able to get to the store, or just blending little bits like, oh, this is a healing property herb. This is a healing property herb. Let me put them together. You know, just easy.
Of
taking
course. Taking stock and taking into account. Like I found a bunch of essential oils in my house. They were like tucked into different places. Mm-hmm. Like I found like a tea tree. I found orange. I found like a lemon. Like all these little different things all over my house. I found a patchouli, which, by the way, patchouli. I was doing some research and figuring out like what's going to be the moon water for Scorpio.
Yep.
And so I was like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? What am I going to do? And I figured it out. I'm going to do, and this is going to figure into tomorrow night where I'm going to do ritual with you guys, but I'm also going to put together the moon water that's then going to go outside to be charged. And it's going to be smoky quartz, which is transmuting and transformative with patchouli.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. So literally I'm just going to take like a big piece of smoky quartz, put it in the water, and it's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
So
it's wonderful.
So I also have what I really like to work with too in my house. I don't know where it is. I have a little cauldron, but I can't find my charcoal discs. I love working with charcoal discs and burning sage on top of the charcoal. Yeah. And like look,
you could also stretch your charcoal too, and you could cut it in half.
Right, cut it in pieces. Look at how cute this little guy is. Isn't this guy cute? It's cast
the
iron.
triple goddess symbol.
Yep, triple moon, little lid, so you can put it out when you're done. This is so cute. I know this little guy is so adorable. I love it so much. Yeah, I also have been. This is another tip. So we eat a lot of pickles in my family. We like pickles a lot. We're a little picky. We like Vlasic, baby dills, the small ones. Don't want any big soft pickles. I need a crunchy pickle. Go take it wherever you want to take it. But we all like crunchy pickles in this house, okay? I do not throw out the pickle jars.
No.
I do not. I save them all. I scrub with the hot water and the soap, the label off. Right. I keep the lid, and literally, you could use them. You can use them, I mean, for anything. You could use them to do your herb infusions. You can use them to make your blends, to store stuff, your herbs. I mean, really, like it's ASMR.
ASMR.
Right, but you have I know you saw the video where the guy says asthma.
It's a little sick. It's
a little
kind of
sick
funny to watch
perverts
those
out there.
videos. It's a little weird. And the people, they're like on the thing and they're like just tapping.
I saw one. So,
making,
okay,
like,
wait.
Like just like the
Wait.
weirdest stuff.
Can I do this? Because this is, okay. This is an unbelievable, actually. It's a gorgeous celestial smoky quartz. But like, look at the plating on this piece. This is amazing. And it's available for adoption. But anyway. Yeah, see, Olivia, salsa jars. But watch.
That's right.
It has this.
That's right. We are sick.
Listen.
We're sick. Yeah. Amityville Apothecary.
ASMR.
ASMR. That's, and that's the tea. That's it.
Whatever. Michelle's saying it now. So, Michelle, can you please drop the profile? Hi, Emily. Can you please drop the profile of the ASMR of what we're talking about so people in their own time can go and watch the ASMR from what we're so they can see why we're calling it ASMR instead of ASMR. Because it's like either you're going to think we're funny or you guys are going to break up with us and you're going to never talk to us again, whatever it is.
It's kind of, I think this one's kind of up there with the Baja Blast. Do you remember that one? Do you remember how we were like screaming that in the store? While carving candles and while making sprays, just screaming Baja Blast.
I don't.
I know people in this live know what Baja Blast is.
Oh my God, I can't even right now. I'm trying to think what else I have around me that's like. So, oh wait, I want to show you guys some magic too. So I made these spell jars. Let's talk about fucking money rice, and let's talk about spell rice. Everybody has bags of rice that nobody wants to cook because they don't got the 30 to 40 minutes to make a proper thing of rice, right? Come on. Like today I caught my daughter. I have like, my husband stress buys groceries. So like we have like pounds upon pounds of rice, but like nobody wants, I don't eat it because I'm on this low carb shit, but nobody wants to like wait and like properly cook rice. So they make the minute rice, which is like a disgusting, but I'm not eating it, so I don't really care. But anyway, so I took all the good rice and made like money rice, but these spell jars we had bought at the apothecary like a dog's age ago to use for like extra oil, but the problem is they're cork and the oil would seep through and it'd get on everything. Howie's mad that I said he stress buys the rice and nobody wants to cook it. It's okay. But so then I repurposed them to make these little spell jars. So this is like a money one. So like literally, even if it's a mistake, like don't throw it away. Like you're going to be able to use it for something. Right. Is what I'm trying to say. You know what I mean? Like just keep it, put it to the side, put it in like your witchy kit, and like you'll come back to it.
That's right.
You know what else is a good jar for magic? The marinated artichoke heart jars, because they're so small.
That's right. That's right.
It is. So talk about repurposing your magic and putting them in like the little bags or like gree bags, or talk about that.
Okay, so gree-grees are a tradition in very classic old school root work. Gree-grees actually come from the voodoo hoodoo tradition. So with a gree-gree, you put the properties of herbs, rocks, crystals, minerals within just a small little dimension square right in the middle. And then you put all the corners together and wrap it. And then you carry it with you. That's its simple version. A lot of times you could get into the color components, the herbs. You could even draw a sigil or a symbol on your gree-gree. In the older traditions, you would even do a prick of your finger and do a little bit of a blood offering to the gree-gree, because there is a principle that when we work with the earth, what we take from the earth, we give back to the earth.
Right.
So a lot of times where we, I think, kind of take the theory of the gree-gree but modernize it a little bit at the shop is when we give people their crystals in the bag, the
Yes.
canvas bag with a little sage. So that's kind of a little bit of, right, that's a very modern take on a gree-gree.
Yes. So we always, you guys have been ordering a lot, so I'm sure you guys have 1,000,009 of these bags. And sometimes they're stamped, and sometimes you get her fit on, and we don't want to stamp them. Howie's been stamping the bags, or my daughter's been stamping the bags.
So you recruited them.
I did. I literally, with the stamping of bags, like the past couple of orders, they've just been getting blank bags because I'm like, I know all these people that already have a stamped bag. It's fine.
And you know what, too? They could also draw on a blank bag.
Right. You could draw
That's
on
right.
blank bags. You could use them
You could
in
embroider.
magical work. You could make gree-gree out of them. You can make little, like you could put your herbs in. You could use it like in David's bath class. You could put your Epsom salts in it and use it as a bath tea bag. Like if you don't want to get your bath into a mess, right? So like you could do that. Listen, there's 1,000,009 uses for them.
You could actually put rice in them along with essential oil and give yourself a compress.
Also, rice
Stop, please.
So you could microwave it too, or you could cool it.
Right. You could literally put it on the body.
That's such a good idea. And you guys will have them. Oh, you guys have your tarot cards in your bags. Yeah, there's like so many ways, right? So like, you know, I'm glad. Like, don't throw those out. Use them in your work. Put them to the side. You'll find something to do with them. You can put lavender in it, sew it shut, put it in your underwear drawer.
That's all.
Right?
Yeah.
Yep. You could do that. You make your own.
This is so fun.
Right. Make your own. We're like, I always say, like, when I started doing my own nails, which I had like 2 thumbnail incidences. So now I've like started doing one at a time and like fixing, like taking the length down. So like these are really long, but these are a little shorter because like they're too long now. But like back in World War II, a lot of the resources were going to the army and to the men on the front line of fighting. So like they didn't have a lot of things like pantyhose, and they didn't have condoms, whatever, because they I don't know what that was, but I feel like I recall somebody saying that they put them on their rifles. But maybe they didn't have condoms during World War II. Maybe I'm thinking about Vietnam. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So, but like they didn't have coffee because all the coffee there was like they would use, oh my God, my grandfather, he fought in World War II and he had this thing where they didn't have coffee. They had something called like postum or or something, which was like a chicory coffee. So like, but the same thing, like we have to work with what we have. Like it's a little bit harder to get our hands on everything. We don't have this like Amazon Prime next day thing going on. We have to like sort of wait. And like even sometimes when we get to the supermarket, we can't get like exactly what we want, or we have to go to a few markets or whatever it is. So it's like use like your spark of creativity to make the best of what you could get your hands on, right?
You want another little thing I did?
Yeah.
So these were the cards you gave me for my birthday. I love them. Yeah. I've been using them. Right. So I had a pair of jeans that time and time again were getting ripped, and I would sew them and I would patch them. And then one day I looked at them, I'm like, these are looking sad and you got to go. So I took the back pocket. You got to go. It's enough now. We're looking disgrazia. It's too much now. Yeah. So I took my seam ripper, and in sewing, it looks like a little bit of a bird beak. It literally looks like this, and it rips the seams. I took the back pockets, and I hand sewed them. Hi, how you doing?
Look at you.
How you living? I had some little snaps in my seamstress bag, and literally, boom. Boop.
Now they have a house. Oh my God, is that the cutest thing? Look at you guys.
That's it.
Oh my God. That is trash magic right there.
That's some white trash. That's some white trash witch magic.
That is trash magic right there.
I am grateful for my 11951 old zip code. Just saying. Just saying.
So I'm not
I
saying
know
the
where
thing.
I
It's
know where I
fine.
came from. I know.
Listen, when I was a little girl, I used to, like, I've been witchy since, like, I even knew what it was a thing. When I was a little girl, I'd make my great-grandma. My great-grandma had polio, by the way, so her right arm didn't work. She could only move her fingers, so she had, like, this, like one, and she was, like, right-handed dominant, and then she got the polio, and she couldn't use her right arm, so she had to relearn to do everything with her left arm. Anywho,
Right.
I used to make her, like, she sewed. She was, like, typical Italian, you know,
Mm-hmm.
in Campanella. You don't get any more Italian than that. And she used to sew, and I would have her make me almost like gree bags. She would take washcloths or squares and sew
Yeah.
them up and draw them together, and I put like all of my forest finds in them.
Yeah, you were making a gree.
Yeah, like since like, and I think maybe it was Joel's
Since you were
age.
like 3, right?
Yeah, I was baby, and I would, and then I'd put it like I'd like take like a stick that I found in the lawn and like put it through, and then I'd be like a Tom Sawyer gree, like there's a whole thing going on in my head.
Right.
So yes, she used to do that for me. She also used to pluck everybody's eyebrows in the window still because that's where the good light was. I don't know why I had to tell you that, but that's like a very like that's a memory of like my grandmother going, Madge, come here, come to the window. I'm gonna pluck your eyebrows. That's what would go on. So like there was no waxing of the eyebrows. You had to have an old lady with the death breath over your face plucking your eyebrows. She had death breath. Really, she did.
Did you ever get the macaroni facial and then your grandmother would put olive oil on your face?
No, she wasn't that caring.
So my grandma, God bless her, Cancerian grandma,
Yes,
so she had
Mom.
the power of crabbiness and the power of water in her. We would go, she's the best. My grandmother is, I think she lies about her age. I think she's 95 now.
Oh my God, bless her.
Yeah, she's still like, she's still on that I'm 80 stuff. I'm like, no, you've been 80 now for 10 years. We're lying.
Yeah.
We're lying. So we used to put our head with the dish towel.
Oh, over the boiling pasta?
Over the boiling water. Open up all your pores. Disgustingly pop all your pimples in the bathroom mirror. Right, because why not? Then you would put your head over the pasta again, and then she would put a little bit of olive oil or witch hazel or, whatever, and just put it, I still do that to this day.
It's good to get a little opening of the pores and like, because you have the water going.
That's right. We
Don't
can't go
give
get
yourself a third
facials,
degree
so we
ache.
can do it in our kitchen.
Yeah, we didn't do that, but she would sew me those little gree bags. I didn't know what they were. And she would do the eyebrow plucking. That was like the beauty of great grandma.
Right.
Oh, you guys are so sweet. And then
I love everybody.
I know. And then like my grandma, not my great grandma, she's like very fancy. So like right. I don't think like when I was younger, I don't know if I ever saw her like not like sort of like done up. She had like 1,000,009 shoes.
Mm-hmm.
All the matching. That's what would go on. And like all the jewelry, the matchy match.
Right.
So, classy lady. But no pasta facials. But like maybe I got to bring that back with my daughter. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Let me tell you something. It works. It's very easy. And you just do it to the point you feel like your skin has heated up and warmed up. That's all you need. You don't gotta go right to the water. Let's just put a little caution thing out there.
No, please don't burn your face.
Just literally just a little, that's it.
I don't know what's Michelle say, pins with perfumes.
My grandma used to keep her perfume in the fridge. It would last longer. I still do that too.
Yeah, I don't wear perfume anymore so much. Like sometimes I use like something very simple, but like more so just oils at this point. I'm so glad. Thanks, Lydia. You're the sweetest thing. Lydia, you're getting your package probably tomorrow. And Lydia ordered Yamaya and Oshun.
Oh, the blessings.
And yeah, oh my God, thank you so much. So my daughter comes running down 2 days ago. Talk about a witch. And she goes, Mom, I summoned Aphrodite. And I went, what?
Of course you did.
What?
Yeah, of course.
I was like, did I hear you right? She goes, yes. I got a candle.
What did she say?
She goes, I got a candle and I did an offering. And I lit the candle. And then I asked her if she was here to make the candle flicker, and it did. And then I asked her if she gave me a blessing to make the candle flicker, and it did. So she was like so excited. She was so excited.
Right.
So that's what goes on in our house.
Right.
Oh, a pin, like a brooch. A brooch with pearls.
Okay.
Yes. No, my grandmother didn't do pins, and my grandmother, I feel like, would wear like certain. I know she went through a spell where she wore Dune a lot. Like I still, when I smell the perfume Dune, think of my grandma.
Right.
But I'm trying to think what type of witchy stuff. I mean, we used to do like the witchy shit at Easter, where we would make like the special braided, bread with a certain amount of eggs in it, and it always would have to be an odd number because odd numbers can't be divided. So
Right.
it always have to be like 3 or 5 or 7. And then the same thing, like when somebody got married, we always used to have to do the almonds and the sugar because it's like taking the sweet with the bitter of life. But
Right.
then it always would have to be in an odd number, 3, 5, or 7.
Right.
Always. Like that's just what we would do. But like, you know, also like I sort of feel, and I'm gonna say this, and if you guys want to fight me, that's fine. I don't really care, but I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna own it. That to a certain extent, like Roman Catholicism is like so imbued in ritual, which is exactly what we do when we work magic. So
That's
like
right.
they use frankincense, they use waters and smoke and fire. They have a word called transubstantiation, literally changing something from bread to the body of Christ. So like, because I think that's the way I was raised, and like literally I always had hello from Ireland. Hi. I've always loved ritual, and I think that's why like when I would try to see try to go to other Christian religions that were maybe more like understanding, if you will, like say like being like going like into Methodist, I always had like a hard time because there wasn't like enough ritual for me, like enough boundaries and rituals and practice. So I think what's lovely is using your own tools and coming up with like your own rituals and practice that connect you with your spirituality, connect you with source, and help you create a container for your magic in which to practice.
That's right.
Aloha. Are you in Hawaii? I'm going to be so mad if you're in Hawaii, Mish. I am. I'm going to be a little bit mad because like I literally will not like stay more than like one day of 60 degrees and then it's like 40 and it's back to winter. And like we've all had enough now. So if you're really in Hawaii, like please send the aloha wind, whatever, over here, please, with the warm weather because it's enough now. It's enough. Frank, I have a question for you. You don't have to answer me, but I'm going to ask you anyway. What I just like it dawned on me. We're thinking about aloha and like the warm weather. What do you do in the summer? Do you still wear the hat?
I usually do head wraps too.
Okay.
I put on my like big old practical magic hats, like those big old sun hats.
Okay. Because
where you can only see like one of my eyes. It's great.
So I have like a theory that Frank might have like a portal in his hat.
Right.
Frank might have like another person like in the back of his head because I've never seen Frank without his hat on. So there might be like a whole dimension of reality back here that we're not allowed to see. I don't know.
That's all. I just wear hats and head wraps and bird feathers and.
But do you have a portal in the back of your head?
I do.
I knew it. There was some magic.
You know what it is too? It's like being part siren. If there's too much moisture in the air and like the weather's a little like, a little fakaked, my scales start showing. And
Oh.
my ears, like you see how it's like a little weird today?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
my ears, right, my ears get like
A
really
little strange.
pointy.
All
Yeah, they get
right.
a little weird. And
I
then
got you.
I just tuck them back,
Yeah.
and we give you like a little I don't know if you ever remember Grey Gardens.
Oh my, of course. Like Grey
Right.
Gardens.
I'm giving you I'm giving you a little Edie right
A
now.
little eating. It's a little
That
bit of eating. I'm gonna need like
it's
a
a little
good America 4th of July show in July
right.
to bring the Edie on. Yes.
Right.
Sally's cracking up.
Giving
There's another dimension in the back of your head. Um, Speaking about ears and magic, my grandmother worked magic on me because when I was a baby, she taped my fucking ears back with masking tape
not abusive.
because she didn't want my ears to stick out. But I want you guys to my ears like sort of never grew, so I have like very
That's nice.
small ears, and they're very tight against my head because when I was an infant, my grandmother taped them back. She did. My mom's listening to this. Ma, come on. Say yes or no that grandma taped my ears to my head when I was an infant.
And understand that, and let's just understand that was normal.
That was, no, she did do that, you guys.
Yeah.
You don't even understand. Like, I hope my mom is still watching. No, it's true. Howie saying, I also don't have earlobes. I think that's from my dad's side, but like she did. She taped my ears back. That was some like Italian shit because like obviously you can't have big ears in like Italian, like you couldn't because like how would I ever get a husband?
Right? You can't be ugly. That's what they would always say. Don't be ugly.
I can't. She did. She taped my ears back. I'm surprised actually my grandma isn't in this because she should be defending her actions. When I was about 5 or 6 years old, she fucking cut all my hair and gave me some goddamn Dorothy Hamill, that figure skater, that fucking bull thing.
Oh.
She should be in here defending her actions. It's a tragedy. I'm still not over it, you guys. I still have a trigger over that. It's probably like I never cut my hair because of that moment. I think that's where I'm going with it. So, like, we should get back to magic. You guys don't want to hear all of our old.
But you know what's funny? All these little stories that we're telling the group, and I'm sure everybody's mind is going, all of these traditions and all these strange little things that we do are magic.
They are magic. They are magic.
My grandma, cancer grandma, she would tell me, because she went to Catholic school, so she's like a witch, like on the DL, and she's a little witch all day. We would play tea. Okay. So I would say, Grandma, what are we doing with the tea? She goes, this is what she do with her crooked fingers because she used to sew in all arthritic.
Right, the arthritis, yeah.
Right. She go, shut up. We're playing tea. So, you know, your grandmother is like up there with God, so you just don't question or you get hit. You get hit, right. So even my 5'11" ass is still afraid of that 5'2" woman because she's still 495. She still has a lethal strike.
I believe it.
All day. So for me, in my family, we're Sicilian, Nobly, Don, and English. So we do have the English in us. So her mother learned from her mother tea leaf reading because that's what they would do to pass the time. So
it's not like they could work there home with the damn kids. But listen, I'm going to put you on pause for a second because we have a minute and 20 seconds left, and then we're going to get booted off. So you guys, we're going to end this live, and then we're going to come back. So please join us in a minute where we're going to talk about Frank and how he learns to read tea leaves. So come back.